we're going to review the geometry with an equation. And so the problem is telling us that the perimeter of the rectangle is 50 inches, right? 50 inches. And that little symbol means inches. And I know that the picture shows me the length, but not the width. Remember doing this?
Yeah.
And so if I want to find the width by setting up and solving an equation, this is the task. You have to set up and you have to solve an equation. And remember, equation always has an equal sign. So my equation is going to be about perimeter. So I know perimeter is equal to 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. And in this problem, Henry, what do I know besides that?
That you have 50 inches is the entire perimeter.
So I could put that in place of a P. What else do I know?
That the length is 8 inches, and that when you add 8 plus 8 to get both of the sides, you get 16.
Right, so I could put the length in for the 8. So if you're not like totally following what he said, let's look at it. He took the 50 basically in his brain and he saw that that was the perimeter, so he put it in there. Okay? And then he takes the 8, which is the width, and he puts it in there. Thumbs up or thumbs down?
Actually, it says that that's the length, not the width. Length. You misspoke.
Oh, I said width?
Yeah.
Oh,
Then
I
it
meant
said
length.
it was the width.
Gotcha. Thanks. Okay, Coda, turn around. So you can do this all by yourself. So now I know 50 is equal to 2 times 8, which is 16, plus 2 times something. So what's the opposite operation, Maggie, of 16 plus 2 times something?
16 minus.
Yeah, I've got to do a subtraction, right?
Yeah.
So basically,
I wouldn't subtract it from 16.
no, you wouldn't subtract it from 16.
Okay.
You would but you have to figure out what this is, right?
And you use a subtraction problem.
And you use the subtraction problem because you know you have to do 50 take away 16
Yeah, then you're left with
to get that 2 times something, right?
Then you divide it by 2, right?
Yes. So what is 50 take away 16?
It's 34.
Yes.
Cut it in half is 17.
Right. And so we know that 34 has to be divided into 2 parts because we're going backwards to get W, and that's 17. Well, you guys seem to remember that. Ella, I'm going to zoom out a little bit. Well, the reason I started with the beginning is we're going to practice with equations today.
Yeah, what if you just starting with
50?
yeah, like,
That would be, if you started right here or here, yeah, that's fine. I'm trying to start with all the beginnings so people can think of all the different places they would start. Maggie?
I got the same answer. I just did a little differently. Like, I started off with W equals 50 minus 16 divided by 2.
That's good.
Because I already knew.
Maggie, that's great. So I don't do that up here only because that's too many steps for some people.
Okay.
But if you write your steps down, that's great.
I did that too.
That's excellent. You guys, I'm super happy. Like, that just makes me feel really good that you remember because, but you have to remember some people start in different places, so I kind of have all the different starting places. You could start here, here, or there, or even do what you said, but I don't usually do what you said on the board because it's too many steps for people.
Okay.
Okay? So now we're going to take that to this, which is a little bit different. So I'm going to zoom out a little bit. So it's different because you're really comfortable with geometry problems, but these are a little bit newer, but we're just going to practice it anyway. So I'm going to model this one and then give you guys like the second part to model. So on the last day of the Ocean Bikes trip, so let me just do some close reading. On the last day of the Ocean Bikes trip, the riders will be near Wild World Amusement Park. They plan to stop there. Admissions is $21 per person to visit Wild World. Yes. I have to write an equation. That's my task. That's the first thing I have to do. To calculate the cost. So that's like to figure how much it costs. So, to visit Wild World. I know that's thunder, but let's try to focus. And it's telling me that I have to use C. That's important. To stand for the cost, and N to stand for the number of people. And there's a hint, use 21 as well. So I'm going to just make a cost equation. So I know that it costs $21 for each person that comes. So N times what? 21. That's the whole equation.
21 times N.
Or 21 times N is the same thing. That's the rule. Got it?
Yeah.
That's just making it an algebra equation.
Yay, algebra.
Right. So it's not with a picture, but it is an algebra equation. Can I get a thumbs up, thumbs down? Okay. So we have to use our equation to do the second part. So I'm going to go to a 2-page display and move this question over here. So your first challenge is to figure out how much will it cost for 15 people. Now, I can just tell from your class that's not so challenging because you did pretty well in the warm-up. So if I set up my equation, I'm going to say cost is equal to what page? 21. Times 15. Perfect.
Equals 315.
Oh, thanks. Equals 315. You already did it. So $315 is our answer.
Wait.
Do you need to question, Coda? Do you see what we did? We used our cost equation from over here.
Oh, I get it now. Yeah.
21 times N.
Oh, this is bad.
And N is 15 people.
I
I heard you say that. Hang on to this. Don't yell the answer out yet. But you're right. Questions first, Max.
Wouldn't it be 215?
It would be 21 times 15. So if I just did the scratch work, yeah, I could do the box method, for example. 21 times 10 and 5 and add them together. That's 210. 5 times 21 is 105. And add them together. Okay?
350.
So, are we good on that? All right. So we're going to do the next part. Maggie.
So, with how you wrote it out with C equals 21 times 15, I feel like it might not make sense for some people because cost doesn't equal 21 times 15. Well, that's just for that.
Yeah, it does.
Oh, this problem it does.
In this problem, it does.
Oh, I thought you were saying that the price for each person is the. Okay, I get it.
Are you with me?
Yes, I was confused.
Perfect. So now, Maggie, we're going to set this other one up. Now, we still have our cost rule, right? We still know cost is, for this whole problem, is 21 times whatever the number of people is. Okay? But now, the challenge is how many people, so we have to figure out how many people could visit Wild World for a cost of $231. So how is that different, Maggie?
So you're figuring out how many people could visit, so how much money it would cost for a certain amount of people. So we're given.
No, read it again.
So, yeah, how many people?
How many people?
Yeah, that's what I said.
Oh, but you said for how much, so how much it would cost you.
No, I said instead. Of how
Oh,
much it
instead.
would cost.
Absolutely, I agree with you.
I think this is
So-
person.
So how are you gonna fix this equation? And then I'll do questions.
Well, we know we're gonna figure out, so we have like, I'm just gonna try to put it this way, we have $231.
Right, and what letter does that go in for, C or N?
That is C.
Right. So 231 is equal to 21 times something.
Yeah, and we need to figure out how many times you need to multiply 21 by blah 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 to get.
So do what John said, so divide it.
Yeah.
231 divided by 21, and Russell already did that. What'd you get when you did 231 divided by?
11.
Yeah, he worked this out already. 11 people. So N equals 11 people. Okay, thumbs up, thumbs down?
I sort of divided in different ways.
I'm gonna just record